Let's start our center rankings at 15 with Jalen Duren. In his draft class, Jalen Duren went under the radar as he slipped out of the media spotlight during his lone year at Memphis. In hindsight, he should have been drafted much higher given his first 2 seasons in the NBA, as he has been a double-double machine since coming into the league. This season, he was a huge bright spot on an awful Pistons team and showcased his full potential as an elite center that will contribute on both ends of the floor at a high level. One concern is the fact that he finds himself injured more than anyone would like, and being this young and injury prone does not scream promise towards his future. After the 2024 season, Isaiah Hartenstein earned himself a massive contract with the OKC Thunder, worth more than his entire career NBA earnings. This was only made possible because of his ability to be an energetic elite defensive player that used his playmaking and touch effectively on offense to make him an elite role-playing big. He was such a good role player that he earned himself a contract the size of a top 3 player on a team. But we cannot forget he is a role player when ranking him, and although he is elite at what he does, he still cannot be placed much higher than 14 for me. One of the most hated players in the league, Rudy Gobert, is a hard player for one to rank, and on my list he finds himself at 13. Defense is elite in the regular season, but come to the postseason, he gets embarrassed every season, and with his inability to do anything on offense, saying he is better than other elite rim protectors that actually contribute on the offensive end is something I cannot do. If he could catch the ball, play make a little, finish without dunking, then maybe I would be ranking him higher, but as of right now, I'm just unable to do so. At 12, I have Miles Turner, and saying he is better than Rudy Gobert could be considered a hot take, but Miles Turner has been one of the best shot blockers in the league for a while, and his ability to space the floor on offense allows the Pacers to run an elite pace and space offense that was the best in the league. He is the new model center for the NBA, as he can defend and shoot as well as finishing. Sure, he doesn't really jump out at you given his statistics, but watching him play is a better way to evaluate him as a player, and from what I have seen from him compared to the other players below him, I'm taking Miles Turner right now. Chet Holmgren was technically a rookie this season, and in his rookie year, he proved all of his longtime supporters right. The first half of the season was truly special, as he was on track to be a 50-40-90 player, but unfortunately, the second half, although still great, his production slowly went down. I believe that this dip had more to do with the conditioning and toll that a full season can take on him, especially in his first season after a major injury. Based on the knowledge that his defense was all defensive team level, and knowing that he will stay at that level and only grow offensively, I think 11 is the right spot right now. One of the more underrated players in the league comes to us at 10, and that player is Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen has always been a consistent double-double machine that can block shots and be an interior presence that anchors defenses. The thing about his 2024 season that puts him easily in the top 10 for me was simply the fact that his playmaking ability and passing ability took an impressive stride forward and allowed the Cavs to stay afloat despite the injuries with Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell. He was the consistent presence on the Cavs in the regular season, and it is unfortunate he got hurt for the playoffs. Speaking of being hurt in the playoffs, Kristaps Porzingis comes to us at 9. Legendary performances in the finals showcase the fact Porzingis can be a matchup nightmare when healthy, and his ability to score at all 3 levels over defenders while being a 7-3 defensive presence is one of a kind. Unfortunately, he proved to be unreliable in terms of health, but he was the difference maker in the finals, allowing the Celtics to win a championship, and when healthy, he is clearly a top 10 center. At 8, I have a player that has a somewhat similar skill set as Porzingis, rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. With all the expectations of greatness, Wemby surpassed everything most of us could have imagined in his rookie season, as many of us now believe the Spurs have a chance to be a play-in team next season, in large part due to what we saw in his rookie season. All defensive first team and an unstoppable force on offense when in rhythm, Wemby can be argued as a top 25 player in the league already. Although I personally wouldn't go there yet, maybe next season we could be looking at him in the top 5 on this list, maybe even top 3, depending on how things go. The Memphis Grizzlies had an extremely difficult season given their injuries consistently nagging them last year. Because of this, Triple J played most of the season as a 1 option, which was a new role causing his efficiency to drastically plummet. Reverting to a natural role next season may allow him to turn into an elite co-star next to Ja and Bane, and I don't think we can forget what Jaren Jackson Jr. does in a suitable role on both ends. So not factoring in the 2024 season too much, I have Jaren at 7. Alperen Sengun had an unforgettable breakout season for the Rockets this year, as he showed us that he can be the next coming of Jokic. Obviously, reaching that ceiling is unrealistic, but witnessing his amazing season does ponder the question of how good his peak may be. We are yet to see the best of him, but he was nearly an all-star this year, and finished atop of the most improved player voting as a third-year player, which is something we must not forget, like the Rockets organization seemingly has, as they do not want to offer him a max, and he is arguably a top 6 center in the NBA. I don't know what the Rockets are doing, but Alperen Sengun looks amazing, and he's only going to grow. Again, he's in his third year, heading into his fourth year in the NBA. We got an elite center on the way. My top 5 starts with Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is probably one of the more overlooked players in the NBA, as he consistently produces near triple doubles on great efficiency, and is the half-court organizer for a high-speed Kings offense. He averaged 19, 14, and 8 on 59, 38, and 70 shooting splits. Elite production. The only problem is the limitation of self-creation on the offensive end, specifically against other physical post players, as he tends to struggle in those situations. So I can't put him higher than the 4 I have him behind due to that limitation, and he isn't a great defender either, making it an easier decision than it probably should be. Bam Adebayo could be argued as the defensive player of the year, as he does it all on that end, but the steps he took offensively this season as a playmaker and a scorer were amazing, and allows me to put him at 4. At times this season, Bam looked like the one option for Miami, especially when Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero were hurt as often as they were, and they've honestly been known to be. But this season, Bam actually looked comfortable in the role of being a one option, which was different than what we have seen in years prior. There's still some work to be done on offense, no question, but Bam continues to improve on that end, and with his defensive ability, it is clear that he is going to find himself third on this list sooner than later. Unfortunately for Bam, anything he does well, Anthony Davis does just as well, if not better. The media loves to bash AD for many things, but you cannot argue the fact that he is the Lakers' defense and is the best source of offense for them when the Lakers are at their best. AD's offensive skill set is truly special given his size, and the sooner he unlocks a consistent 3-ball, or at least establishes himself in the paint against more physical opponents, the sooner we can say the Lakers are legit contenders once again. There are issues that he cannot control on the Lakers, but one thing is clear. He is the most important player on this Lakers team. Don't worry, LeBron is the best player. I'm not saying LeBron's not the best player. I'm just saying AD is very important to this team. We all knew this list was going to come down to 2 players, and I will give it to you simply here. Joel Embiid is not better than Nikola Jokic at this moment in time, but he did have a historically great season to begin 2024, as he averaged 35, 11, and 6 on unearthly efficiency, which is something we must appreciate. Just the reality of it is that Nikola Jokic creates everything for his team, using his unteachable IQ, as he knows where his teammates are going to be before they even do, and he directs them in ways you just cannot fathom. Nikola Jokic is also capable of putting up the scoring numbers Embiid does while doing everything else but defending better. Jokic is also better in the playoffs, so it really isn't that hard to choose between the two if you ask me. If Embiid has a deep playoff run next season and performs like he does in the regular season, this debate can and will be reopened. But Joel Embiid did have a great playoff series. It's unfortunate that it was only one series, but they couldn't beat the Knicks. And that is going to wrap up part 5 of 6 in these position rankings. The next part comes out a week from today, which would be next Friday, as that is going to be the top 25 players in the NBA, in my personal opinion. But if you want to catch up on the other parts of it, well, the playlist is on the screen and it's right there for you to click on it. And if you want to check out my weekly recap in case you missed it, it is the video on the screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.